CEBIS transmission settings. This is the CEBIS transmission settings section. To modify your transmission settings, scroll to the transmission gear icon and push the rotary dial to drop into the menu. Once in the menu, there are many variables which you can change, including the Engine Settings menu. The Engine Settings menu allows you to set an engine power droop in 3 different operating modes. The engine power droop is on a percentage basis. Engine droop is how far the engine RPM is allowed to lug down before the transmission responds to the load and changes the transmission ratio. To modify your engine power droop tolerances, enter into the Engine Power Droop menu and highlight a mode. In this example, we will modify the fixed engine speed. The fixed engine speed mode is utilized when you are using constant engine speed control and are trying to maintain a fixed engine speed. You can go in and change the position or percentage of droop up to 10%. In this case, when you are in constant engine speed control, the engine will be allowed to come down 7% of the starting RPM before the transmission starts to change ratio. In the automotive mode and PTO shaft mode, you can set up your power drop to as high as 30%. The PTO shaft mode should be used when you want a fixed engine speed in order to maintain a 1000 PTO RPM. You would typically set the PTO shaft mode at a very low setting if you need to maintain 1000 RPM. If you are using an application where the PTO shaft speed can vary, then you can allow it to go higher. In automotive mode, the tractor operates much like a car, and you use the foot accelerator to drive. The power drop in automotive mode actually allows the engine to rev higher when a lower droop percentage is set and tries to maintain the most efficient operation. To exit this menu, simply push the Escape button and you'll return to the upper menu. From here, use the left-hand rotary dial to scroll over to the fixed engine speed settings. There are 3 active memory positions in the fixed engine speed section. To enter, push the left-hand rotary dial. Once in the submenu, you will see 3 speed control memory slots. Note that each engine speed currently set also displays its respective PTO output speed to the right. To change these values, scroll over into the Value setting and hit the rotary dial. We currently are looking at active control number 1. Turning the rotary dial either left or right will allow you to scroll to the desired RPM. You can change what active memory position you are in by selecting either 1, 2, or 3 in the Active Memory Position submenu. Once you have selected a memory or engine speed level, hit Escape. You can see that Active Memory Position 3 is set at 1800 RPM. We can now change that value setting and move it down to 1730, which is where 1000 RPM PTO occurs. Once you have returned to the Speed Control Overview screen, you will see that the new changes have taken effect. The Ground Speed Control menu allows you to set your cruise controls and maximum speeds. For cruise control, you can preset 2 forward and 2 rearward speeds. You can also set a maximum speed for cruise range 1. Let's take a look at modifying your forward and reverse cruise control speeds. In both the forward and reverse tab, you have the ability to store and modify 2 cruising ranges. To modify cruising range 1 in reverse, scroll to the backward tab and press the rotary dial. Scroll to cruising range 1 and press the dial again. You'll notice that if you turn the dial rapidly, your speed will jump in multiples of 0.1 and 0.5 depending on the rotation speed. If you turn the dial more slowly, you will see speed goes up in multiples of 0.03 to 0.04. Press the dial to select and your new cruise range settings are saved. The maximum speed for cruise range 1 can be used to modify the sensitivity of the foot accelerator pedal. For instance, if you are in an application where you want a small change in ground speed, but you want to move the pedal more to make it more accurate and controllable, you would set your cruise maximum speed range downward. To do this, we will highlight and select Cruising Range 1 and scroll our top speed down to 7 miles per hour. By changing our maximum cruise range, we have taken 30% of the sensitivity out of the foot pedal. In the Transmission submenu, you'll find two available driving modes, automatic and manual, or drive stick mode. To select a mode, scroll to the desired driving mode and click on the rotary dial. In this example, we switch from automatic to manual or drive stick mode. In manual mode, the CMOS lever will become a propulsion lever. In the automatic mode, your ground speed is controlled by the foot pedal. In the PTO shaft section, you can set the automatic PTO to turn on and off with the 3-point hitch. This feature can either be set to inactive or can be turned on by selecting via hydraulic lift. The switching delay menu allows you to set a point for the hitch to reach that will turn the PTO on automatically. You can set the same point with the release delay to then turn off the PTO automatically. In many cases, you want it to engage the PTO before the implement goes into the ground, like in the case of a rotary harrow. That way, the PTO is turned on and the implement is moving so you don't bend the tines. This input delay or release delay is the percentage of the 3-point hitch hydraulic movement before or after the PTO is actually turned on. To modify these settings, highlight the input delay and turn the rotary dial either up or down to your desired delay and deselect. The same process can be used to modify the release delay, which will turn off your implement when the 3-point hitch has been raised to a certain level. The PTO shaft speed is where you can set your engine speed control memory. This allows you to have 3 different PTO settings for 3 different soil types or 3 different sections of a field where you need to do different conditioning, and that conditioning is based upon PTO speed. The driving strategy is a section that changes the response time of the transmission. If the driving strategy is set to -5, the transmission will be much slower to respond to changes than at a +5 setting. For example, if you are doing a lot of roading and you come to a stop sign, you release the throttle or the accelerator pedal, and you have a driving strategy in +5. It will slow down very fast compared to a -5 driving strategy. In most cases, setting your driving strategy to 0 will be that best setting and is the default setting. Driving strategy also changes the aggressiveness of your shuttle engagement as you change between forward and reverse.